What did I say? What did I say, show? About replacing Aaliyah? I think that's her name. What did I say? God damn it. Can't we have one good thing? Hello, I'm Joe. Welcome back to me being delusional online, reviewing TV shows, occasionally movies, and soon books. That might just have been the most deranged thing I've said. Well, listen, I don't really know how to review this episode because it's clearly just set up for the finale, but let's start with a conversation between Morgan Freeman and Byron. I don't know Morgan Freeman's name in this show, so it's just Morgan Freeman. First things first, I liked that we started with a scene between these two men because it immediately shows that the dynamic of the team and of the Lioness program is a bit of a mess because Joe is in the hospital. And it shows it without any words because usually we see Joe very early on in the episodes, and this time around was like, no, things are a mess. You can't have the same dynamic as before. I like that. That was a very subtle but effective way of throwing us off balance in this second to last episode, which I don't think we as audience often realize this, but when we are expecting something and the show or the film or the book or whatever does exactly the opposite or just betray our expectations in a way, it puts us a little bit on edge. And doing this in a penultimate episode is interesting and important because the final episode is going to be a showdown for sure. So the audience, we need to be on edge. And what do they talk about? A lot. It starts with them having a casual conversation about the fact that the news as a business no longer is about providing information, but rather entertaining. And Morgan Freeman, well, his character basically hints at the fact that in the future, the people in charge of the country will most likely interfere more and more with the news and take away their free range. Which, if you were living in Portugal like I am, it would be very topical right now. Hard times are coming and no one wants to admit it. And remember in LIONESS, the elections have not happened yet. Actually, one of the big things about this whole mess that they're dealing with at the border is because they think that the Chinese intelligence, together with the cartels, are trying to influence the elections. We have a problem, Byron, says Morgan Freeman about what happened at the border. And what happened was the fact that there was a suicide. And that was not normal. That's not normal. It isn't no normal. And they conclude that this person was probably from Iran, but it was on Chinese orders. To one, destabilize the border, and two, to draw attention to that specific state. And basically what this implies in the show is that if they want the CIA to pay attention to a specific place, it's because they want them to not pay attention to another specific place. And what it implies is that there might be an attack somewhere else that affects the US. And then freaking Byron says, well, there have been some Chinese nuclear scientists moving suspiciously. And that's where the show is going. Basically, the whole Lioness mission is deterring from, instead of targeting the cartel with the supposed Chinese intelligence infiltrated in it, they're going to now target these nuclear scientists. So that's who they go after at the end of the episode. Joe goes with them, both Lionesses go with them, the whole team is going to Iran, basically, to go fetch. Well, I doubt they will bring them alive, but to go intercept these nuclear scientists. And I mean, if they put on the border of Mexico and to distract attention, isn't it fair that they would also move these scientists to also distract them, to move their attention there? You know? But that's practically the whole episode, because then we just see Joe waking up from the anesthesia, from the surgery, and guess how she wakes up? Guess how? Like, she's feral. I mean, the way that these programs treat their people, I can't stand it. And in my previous episode, I had someone comment about it, that they experienced the military experience. And I did some reading, and I found out that the Lioness program, as we see it in the show, is inspired by Lioness Task Force in the US military, I think, the Navy. And I'm just, yeah, clearly I'm very against war and the military. I don't think Jo is leaving the program. I think she might beat it in this mission, actually. Um, Well, I don't, because the show is all around Zoe Saldana. I don't think they could lose her. Like, either they make this the last season, or there's no way she's dying in the field. But yeah, nothing much else happens. It's just shenanigans and preparing, setting up the finale. We see Joe's husband being an idiot. Like, you have the audacity to marry a person who is this committed to this job, who it's clearly an abusive relationship. Like, the relationship between Joe and her job, clearly abusive and not healthy at all. And you have the audacity to now tell her that she has to choose her children. What about the past, like, 15 years? I don't like the husband. I don't like him, and maybe they should kill him instead of her. What about that? But yeah, we see the most sweetest moment between the crew, where the boss of the crew is sleeping in the couch, and then one of the men is like, "Hey, do you want to sleep in the bed? I can't sleep. That's too soft for me. I need the ground." And she's like, "No, because baby boy sleeping next to you just farts a lot. I'm not gonna sleep next to that." And she says to him that she loves him, and he replies, "I love you too, Baba." That was the cutest moment in the entire show. The 2 seasons, that was the cutest moment. Was him saying, "I love you too, Baba." Come on. You know that the relationships that are founded and the bonds that exist between people with shared trauma are really strong. But yeah, I don't have many hopes for this show. I don't know if I will watch season 3, if there is a season 3. I don't think the characters are that well crafted as some people might think, because, I mean, all they do is shout and fight with each other. There was some space for complex emotions last season, between Joe and her eldest daughter, between Cruz and Aaliyah. There was place for complex emotions. In this season, it all seems a lot more black and white, and I don't like it. But yeah, this is me being very discouraged about this show, and let's see how the finale goes. Alright, baby girls and baby boys and baby days and baby whoever you are, this is it for me today. See you probably Tuesday with Silo episode 4. Silo really is the better show right now. But yeah, check out my booktube channel and enjoy Bookmas.